Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our SWAC football head coaches media session for Monday, November the 10th. Begin at approximately 10:05 with Alabama A&M head coach Sam Shade. He'll be followed by Coach Eddie Robinson.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our SWAC football.
Following Coach Robinson will be Coach Cedric Thomas with Alcorn State at 10:25. Coach Raymond Woodie with Bethune-Cookman will be at 10:35. Coach James Colzie, Florida A&M at 10:45. Coach Mickey Joseph, Grambling State, 10:55. Coach Alonzo Hampton, Arkansas Pine Bluff at 11:05. Coach Terrell Buckley with Mississippi Valley State at 11:15. Coach Tremaine Jackson with Prairie View A&M at 11:25. Coach Fred McNair with Southern will be at 11:35. Coach Chris Dishman with Texas Southern will be at 11:45. And Coach T.C. Taylor, Jackson State, will close out our coaches' availability at 11:55. We ask you please ensure that your lines are actively muted unless you are asking a question. Please limit your questions to one initial question. If there are additional questions, they're already in the queue. If we've got time, we'll circle back to get additional questions answered. And please wait to be acknowledged prior to asking your question. We'll pause here momentarily. Thank you for your patience.
When I lost to some battle, give extra motivation.
Once again, for our media participants, if you do have questions for our coaches, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. Please ensure that your lines are actively muted unless you're asking a question. And once again, please wait to be acknowledged prior to asking your question. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Shea with Alabama A&M. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Doing great, Coach. And as always, we appreciate you taking time to join us. If you could start us out with an opening statement, recapping your team's most recent outing versus Prairie View A&M.
Okay, we had a home game this past weekend at Lewis Cruz Stadium. Good weather, good crowd. Uh, Game started off. We went up 5-0 first quarter, on into the second quarter, and about midway in the second quarter, they were able to get on the board with a passing touchdown, and so they went up 7-5. And right before halftime, with 3 seconds left, they threw a Hail Mary into the end zone. And unfortunately for us, the ball came down in one of their receivers' hands. He did a good job of going up and getting it. And so we go to halftime 13-5. Still felt like we were in the game, just a touchdown, 2-point conversion away from tying it. But in the second half, it was all Prairie View in the second half. They came out and they had the momentum that they had created late in that second quarter, and they just kept that momentum throughout the second half and, ended up pulling away from us in the second half.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Wayne Cartwright.
Hey, Coach. How are you today?
Doing good, Wayne. Doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good up here in this cold Ohio snowy day, but everything is all well up here. So, Coach, you guys have had leads of 10-0 and 5-0 these last two games. Can you lend a little bit of commentary to about how you guys have kind of struggled to maintain that production?
Well, in the Grambling game, we were up 10-0 and then 10-6 most of that game. And, we go into the fourth quarter and we had a, mental lapse on special teams, had a couple guys that just didn't do their job. They were able to get in the end zone. And so, we lose that game 13-10. But this past game was different against Prairie View. Prairie View came in, a team that had been playing really well, that were 3 points away from tying and possibly beating Alabama State. So, we were facing a different team this week, and we started off with some intensity and playing hard, playing fast. And I just feel like once we had a little adversity set in and we lost momentum, I just think that, talking to our guys, watching the film, we had some guys that kind of started doing their own thing and kind of pressing, trying to make plays, just feeling like the game was getting away from them. And so we got to do a better job of just continuing to, do your job the entire game and don't make mistakes and things like that because you're pressing.
And Coach, just one quick follow-up. Can you just talk about, obviously, the fans and media's expectations that come from first-year head coaches in this era of immediate success? And can you just talk about your thoughts about that? Because obviously this season started off 3-1, but now, it is where it is. Can you just talk about that?
Well, it's a different era in college football. It really is. And I think that, people want that success now. A lot of people look at the portal, like it's a magic formula. And, also there's some other factors involved. But, the thing about football is I just feel like you've always got to lay a foundation first. That's the first thing you've got to do. You got to establish your culture. And, that's what we've been trying to do this season. Unfortunately for us, we've had a number of injuries, number of guys out for the season. I feel like that's hurt us as far as, where we are as a team right now. But, yes, I do think that a lot of fans have high expectations early. And, just unfortunately for us, we just hadn't been able to deliver.
Well, Coach, appreciate you as always, and good luck in the home finale against Florida A&M this Saturday.
All right. Thank you.
Next question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach, I want to follow up on Wayne Cartwright's question there, because the culture of college football and the culture of our society is about this immediacy. You've been around football a very long time. You talk about building a foundation. What are your thoughts regarding this immediate, constant, you've got to win mentality that the fan bases seem to have, not only in college sports, but professional sports? This year, we've seen someone who played in the SWAC championship last year lose his job as a head coach. Can you just talk about the culture of that aspect of football?
Well, kind of like I told Wayne, I just think that, I think the transfer portal has, created, some things where, people feel like the portal's a magic formula, like you're going to go in there and, pull out 3 or 4 guys and they're going to change your whole team around. But, everybody's in the portal, and you've got to do a good job of vetting the guys that you do get out of the portal. And, And so that makes it tough. I think some people have been able to get some guys out of the portal and make it work, and and then you've got some other places that haven't really been able to do that. So it's a tough time right now to be in collegiate sports and, like you said, professional sports, because the demand to have it now is there.
And as a follow-up, Coach, let's switch to the gridiron and talk a little bit about this team that you've got coming in, that you're facing, this Florida A&M team. Talk about what you've seen with them on film and what you expect this weekend.
Well, FAMU right now, I think they're a hot team. They started off the season kind of slow, but they've really picked it up. They've won 3 out of their last 4. Just won a really tough game at Arkansas Pine Bluff on the road this past week. Pull that game out. So, they're going to come in here. They're going to come in here riding high, and we've got to be ready to play.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck to you this week.
All right, thank you.
This question goes to Dr. Cavill.
This is Kenyatta Cavill, Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Good morning, Coach A.
Good morning, Doc. How are you?
I'm doing well. I was able to get down there, but as everything started moving around, I couldn't catch you after the game and get some interviews.
Oh, man, Doc, I didn't realize you were here. You said you were going to be here. I didn't realize it.
Yeah, I did get here as I promised. They took care of me in terms of the press box and everything, so you all do a wonderful job. I just apologize I couldn't get to you after the game. Understand things be moving around. I wanted to ask you about moving forward and the challenges with the game when you have injuries at this level. How do you continue to focus and build on your team in terms of shaping them where you want to see them go?
Well, when you have injuries, the thing with that is you're always training, your 2s and 3s to get them ready to play and those type of things. We've got a next man up mentality here, so we've gone all the way to playing our 4th string quarterback this season. So we definitely have dealt with it, and it's tough. But at the same time, everybody else sometimes has to deal with injuries also. It just seems like for us, we've just had more than normal this season. And a lot of times when you do have to go to that 2nd, 3rd team guy, there is a drop off as far as talent wise. And, it shows sometimes in ball games, unfortunately.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you for your time, Coach. Catch up with you when you can appropriately. Thank you.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. We're a minute or two ahead of schedule for Coach Robinson, so we'll pause momentarily. Thank you for your patience. All right, once again, if you do have questions, please utilize the raise hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, we're happy to be joined by Coach Robinson with Alabama State. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How's it going?
You're great, Coach. And as always, we appreciate you taking time to join us. Coach, if you could start us out with an opening statement, recapping your team's most recent outing versus Texas Southern.
Yeah, so we played Texas Southern at home here in Montgomery. Had a good crowd on hand. The game started off with us stopping them on a 3-and-out. So defense was playing well early, and then we had a scored on the first play of the game. Took a shot to Jalen Jones, and he was able to find his way into the end zone. Going into the rest of the half, Texas Southern did a great job of executing offensively. So we found ourselves down 24-21. Defense has to play better. We play good in stretches, but for the most part, I think Texas Southern reached all of their offensive goals. They did a good job of just executing, and for us, we have to have our guys that's going to be playing more consistent, just basically lining up and executing the defense at a much higher level. Offensively, we had a really good evening. I thought Tayshawn Smoot did a good job of stepping in for Andrew Body and being consistent. Holesclaw ran like he usually does and had a good day, and Marcus Harris scored a couple touchdowns. But I think the difference in the ball game for us was definitely the special teams. You know, I always say if you can't kick, you can't win. And so at some point, we knew special teams would win you a ball game if you work hard at it. And Nehemiah Hickson returned a kickoff return for a touchdown that came at a really big time. I think it was right in the first half, and then also we blocked the field goal. Zaquan Patterson and then Tayshawn Sims ran it back for a touchdown. So all in all, the difference in the ball game was really our 2 scores on special teams. I thought Coach Dishman did a great job of having his guys come out offensively, and they executed at a really high level. They ran 80 plays to our 35. So it was one of those games where if you look at the stats, it wasn't very pretty. But we know defensively we have to play better. We have to play more consistent. And next week we go down to Mobile and play Mississippi Valley.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Wayne Cartwright.
Hey, Coach Rob, good morning to you and congrats on the win.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So my question for you today, can you just give us an update on Andrew Body, and then also given the fact that you guys are where you are in your position now with 2 SWAC weeks to go, how difficult, if at all, is it to keep everybody focused and not get involved in scoreboard watching?
Well, that's a problem. And I'm sure everybody around the conference that's in our situation is probably doing the same thing. But for us, you just have to win today. We can't control what's going on outside the room. So we preach that, we talk about it. And so I don't think that had anything to do with us playing the way we played this Saturday. I think everybody was focused and ready to go. We got off to a good start, but then we just didn't execute well. But only thing we can do is go out there and play hard and compete against the Mississippi Valley team that competed hard against Jackson. The score kind of got out of hand after the pick 6, but before that, it was a back and forth game. So we know we have to be ready to play.
Yeah, and about Andrew Body.
Oh yes, so with Andrew, he's still rehabbing, so we don't know exactly. I can't say it's a 1 week or 2 week. It really goes to how the shoulder responds. If it responds to treatment and he can start throwing and getting into a throwing program, then it won't take as long. But if it doesn't, it may take longer. So I know that's probably not a really good answer, but we don't really know anything more than that, to be honest.
Hey, well, it's the right answer and it's the transparent answer. So, hey, appreciate you as always. Good luck down there in Mobile against Valley, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Question goes to Charles Bishop.
How you doing, Coach?
Doing well. How's it going?
I wanted to talk a little bit about Jalen Jones in terms of what he was able to do. Had another big day for you, but he leads the SWAC in receiving yards and touchdowns. But just talk about sort of the pressure that he puts on opposing secondary.
Yeah, so I was joking with the guys before. If you look at him in pregame, you're gonna probably say, "Hey, that's the number 0 who has all those yards?" But once the game starts, I mean, he just has a way to get in and out of his cuts just really, really well. Has good instincts, good hands, very confident guy, and you can just see him getting better and better each year. And so, just a fantastic player. Works hard, doesn't complain. Great student, 3.4 or above. And so one of those guys that's just hard to defend. He's an undersized guy, kind of smaller. He knows how to get to where he wants to be on the football field, and it's hard for guys to keep up with.
Sure thing. Really quick follow-up. The block field goal, huge play in the game. But was that something you guys saw on film, or what exactly happened on that play?
Yeah, so Zaquan Patterson is doing a great job of just executing that aspect of it. It's something that we practice all the time. So last year we returned a field goal for a touchdown. I think year before we did also, and so we know that everybody has an orchestrated role. When we block a field goal, the goal is to score a touchdown. And then I think the beautiful part of that play is probably was our best defensive snap. We had a lot of bad ones, but that one everybody did exactly what they were supposed to do, even from the standpoint of returning the score for a touchdown. No one had a block in the back. We called it blockout, spray paint, just kind of shield the defender and not get a penalty. And so it was a beautiful play for us just because it's something you talk about all year long from June, July, August, and it's probably going to happen once or twice the whole year, and you want to execute it at a high level when you get the opportunity. So very proud of all of those young men that participated in making that happen.
Good thing, Coach. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How's it going?
Super fantastic, Coach. I want to talk to you, with you being the dean of head coaches in the conference, the longest tenured. What are your thoughts on this culture that has been placed on coaches to consistently win at a high level? What are your thoughts there, Coach?
Well, I think first of all, coaches, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. I don't think no one needs extra motivation from outside the room. I think all 12 coaches in the conference want to win as bad as anybody else, and we work at it extremely hard. So, but it's just not a climate of patience in anything that's going on in the world today. So for us, you just have to go out there each day and be the very best coach you can be, and care about the kids and love them, and make sure that the bigger picture is that you're giving something back to the kids and something back to the program, and the wins and losses, they come, but you can't control that part of it. We do everything we can to control it. And I promise you, the 12 coaches on this call, we want to win more than anybody, but sometimes it doesn't go that way. And so you ask for patience, but it just doesn't seem like something that's just where the thing is kind of falling right now, unfortunately. But we just have to go out there and win as many as you can.
Coach, can you compare it to the era that you played in when you played in this conference, and some of the benefits of the long tenured coaches that were there when you played?
Well, yeah, I mean, guys would come back and they would, you would see a coach and see a familiar face, even if the head coach was there. Probably the coordinator was still there. You think about a Bronski Towns and how long he stayed there at Alabama A&M, even when coaches came and went. And so it's just one of those things that's just different. It's just whenever you go back to athletic departments, whether it's high school or college, there's just a lot of turnover, which is unfortunate because the kids don't really have a connection with the university when it's different people always in the building.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this week.
Appreciate it.
Last question goes to Dr. Cavill.
Kenyatta Cavill, Dr. Cavill, inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Coach, you've played a lot of football, different levels. You've seen the ebb and flows of seasons, and sometimes in some seasons you're really talented and the team believes and you make plays that leads and stacks up. In other seasons, little plays gets away from you. What in your experience that you see, are there any attributes that you've been able to put your hand on that creates the belief that allows you to move forward, or is it something else?
Yeah, I think for us, the beginning of a new day. Like we say the Hornet Creed every morning. I personally say it before I get out of bed every morning. It just gets your mindset because it doesn't matter how good or how bad the day was before. You have to get into the next day. And so that's the one thing that we always talk about as a team. And when you have those tough losses and it doesn't go right, you have to say what should have happened. We can't go back and replay the previous game. All you can do is get ready for the next one by getting ready today. And so we try to get the kids to stay in the moment. And I think the biggest thing with everyone, even coaches, we start thinking about, hey, man, in 3 weeks from now is Christmas and what I'm going to be doing for New Year's. And then I'm going to start recruiting. But in the meantime, you have a game this weekend. So I just try to make sure everybody's in the building is focused on the moment. Can we go out there and have the very best Monday that we can have? I think if you have that small approach to it, then the big things take care of themselves.
Thank you, Coach. I'll take heed of that. In the role that I play, oftentimes it is about planning ahead, but I think to your point, many times you have to find a way to stay in the moment. So I appreciate it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. We now go over to Alcorn State and head coach Thomas. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach, as always, appreciate you taking time to join us. Coach, if you could start us out with an opening statement recapping this past week's competition.
Yeah, just had the opportunity to play, play Southern University, get back at home, and another opportunity to go 1-0. Thought the guys came out a really good week of practice. Great job from a coaching standpoint. Did a good job putting a good game plan together for the guys, and the guys executed. Came out, looked slow, but picked it up the second half, and it was just good to see them guys just kind of, deal with the pageantry and everything, associated with the game, and then just kind of had opportunity to finish strong. And so just overall, just a really good football game. Coaches did an amazing job, preparing the student athletes, and they did a good job of sticking to the game plan. So it was just good to, get a win and be at home and see if we can continue to go 1-0.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Wayne Cartwright.
Hey, Coach Thomas, congrats on the win this week, and I hope you're doing pretty good today.
Appreciate it, sir.
So, Coach, obviously you talked about the pageantry around the game. Did you have any moments with Coach McNair during the day? Did you guys get a chance to talk? If you did, what can you share? And then just talk a little bit about just the mission that you guys have undertaken to just keep this team together despite the tough start. But now you guys are playing what looks like some of your best football heading down the stretch with 2 games to go.
To answer the first question, no, we didn't have any line of communication. It was business mindset on both parts. Coach, in the seat that he's in, and I'm in the seat that I am, trying to, do the best we can with both of the institutions. And so now we didn't have any communication. And so for us, just bringing this, finishing this thing up strong is just, for us, it's about life. We tie all of it into just our everyday existence as we walk this universe. Bad things gonna happen, and then how you start, it's how you finish. And the word says it might not come when you want to, but he's always on time. And so we got to believe that. Rob just got through talking about how grown people being in the moment. Well, that's what I've been challenging the coaches. Because young adults gonna look at us, and we're a litmus of them. And so they see the coaches coming in early and getting really good game plan, staying late to try to right these wrongs. And so I think it's just indicative of the leadership, from the coaching staff, and it's just trickling down to the kids. We know we're a good football team, and didn't show it early, but it just wasn't that time. And so I think we, doing it the right way, and guys are starting to, reap the benefits of their hard labor. And so we got one more this week versus a really good, talented football team, and we're gonna see if we can put another good product out there to go 1-0, like we said earlier.
Well, good luck this week, Coach. Usually when you play Grambling, it's usually a brawl. No pun intended. Good luck to you, Coach.
Appreciate it, sir.
Question goes to Dr. Cavill.
Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab, being able to be successful going 1-0 for 3 straight weeks, playing some really good football. Can you talk a little bit about Reggie Davis, your running back that had a superlative game, has played really well of late, particularly how your line play has been able to get some pushes, and he's been able to read the creases and make plays along with your quarterback. But talk about what makes him special and what he needs to do to help you all continue to be successful in this next matchup against Grambling.
Yeah, we think Reggie NFL running back. Status wise, he's gonna meet all the criteria. He's gonna check all the boxes. What makes him special? He can, run the inside zone, outside zone. You see him great in the pass pro, but also on the perimeter. Can catch the football efficiently. Does all the little things. He plays with a 1980 and 1990 mentality. It's gonna be physical. Refs gonna have to calm him down, but that's him. That's how he's wired up, and that's been really great with him and Sue just kind of being the yin and yang. And so, on this run, man, he's really shown who we thought he could be coming in from Chat. Was banged up a little early when he got here, but just to see him have success and his family, entrust us with him as a transfer, and to watch him just come out and get better and fit the culture. He's one of those old, Alcorn backs that you've seen in the past. And so, we're expecting him to carry this load until we get Sue back in the mode and getting healthy. And so we're just excited about his journey.
Thank you, Coach. Good
Yes,
luck this
sir.
weekend. Look forward to the matchup.
Appreciate it.
Question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach, I want to take you back to that after the Mississippi Valley State victory. I asked you, was that the win that would turn your season around and give your team that confidence? You haven't lost since. So I want you to speak to that now. At the time, you couldn't answer that question. You told me honestly, hey, Perry, I can't answer. And I respect that. But then also, if you could address that, but address, you've won 3 in a row. Grambling has won 4 in a row. What have you seen on film from this Grambling State team?
For us, it's just been about just taking care of small things on and off the field and just executing at a high level. We had a lot of transfers in junior college and just, Division I who hadn't played a lot of, football early. And so, we had some mishaps early and, coaches, I can't say enough about, them and, just understanding these young adults' limitation and capability and doing just what they can do at a maximum level for over 4 hours, however long the contest lasts. And so, that's been a really good microcosm of just the building overall with the coaches, trickling down to the student athletes. And, Grambling, you watch them guys, they explosive up front. You can see them, create a lot of turnovers with the D-line, sporadic on the back end, man. I'm talking about, just got through watching how they disguise a lot of coverages and doing a bunch of things, creating turnovers. And offensively, anytime you're playing with a second, third quarterback and you get wins, that says, it's not about the individual, it's the system. And they got a really good system. They're going to run the football, going to do the RPO things and put the ball to guys' hands in space, and also the Wildcat with number 10. And so, I know them guys. I work with, Losi. I work with, Mickey. And so them tough football players, tough football coaches, and their team is playing like it. So we got our hands full, this Saturday with a really good football team that's coming in hot. And so we got to roll our sleeves up and be ready to work.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone on the reservation are well. Congratulations. Talk about the process. A lot of people want the easy bake, but there's a process and you got to continue to work through it. Talk a little bit about the results. Whatever you put in there, eventually you can pull something out.
Yeah, it's the faith part first. You got to believe that which not seen. Nobody in this building from a player standpoint has won a championship. And so in order for them to be able to right the wrongs and see what they look like, then, they got to trust the process of what we're giving them and believing that they can do it. And championship is not just about holding the trophy up. It's about a mindset. It's about a way of work. It's an ethic that you come in, in a culture standpoint where you come in every single day and you do things whether coach looking or not, because we know ultimately, somebody's looking at all of us in our day-to-day action. So I think they just understanding that, I think they understand it, doing things when coach is not around, are also doing extra, and also, from a time management standpoint, being able to lock all those things in. They're getting the results, that's needed now. And so it's just good to see them not waver, when the score wasn't indicative of what the type of work they was putting in. And, kudos to those guys for believing and continue to believe. And so we got to do it a couple more times. And so we just excited to get up in the morning. And like I said earlier, see if we can go 1-0 for the fourth straight week.
Good luck when you see Grambling State.
Appreciate it, sir.
Last question goes to Charles Bishop.
Charles Bishop, Dr. Cabil's inside the HBCU Sports Live. How you doing, Coach?
Oh, I'm blessed. How about yourself?
I wanted to ask this question. You guys have won, 4 out of your last 5, if I'm not mistaken. But I guess I wanted to know what was sort of the catalyst to sort of get the offense in particular up and rolling.
We made a few changes, internally that really kind of helped. And then just kind of, narrow some things down and just really find identity of what we wanted to look like. There's a lot of good defense we faced. And, we just did some things in-house to just be able to rectify some of the shortcomings that we had offensively. And so, that staff has done an amazing job, starting with the quarterback and making some changes, some things that he can do really well. And also the O-line, can't say enough about Coach Watson and those guys being challenged week in and week out and creating a new line of scrimmage and keeping people off the quarterback. So that room has just really came in and just honed in on, things that guys from an offensive standpoint can really do and do at a high level. And I think they're starting to see it. And so we'll continue to work, continue to tweak it, and see if we can continue to be explosive and score points.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, as always, appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Appreciate it, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We now go over to Bethune-Cookman and Coach Raymond Woodie. Once again, if you do have a question for Coach, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Woodie with Bethune-Cookman. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach, as always, appreciate you taking time to join us. If you could start us out with an opening statement, recapping your team's most recent outing versus Grambling.
We went down to Grambling. Obviously we didn't finish the game like we wanted to, 23-31. We started out our first drive, ended after the first play, sack, fumble, recovered by Grambling. They jumped out 10 points, and then we ended up kicking a field goal, 3-10. We tied it. Tim and McLean came in and tied it 10-10, and then obviously they went up 17. Then Malik Huggins caught a 61-yard pass. We tied it 17-17, and then it was 17-24. They went up. Then Juan, our kicker, kicked a 39-yard field goal. It's 20-24. Then they went up 20-31, and then we ended up kicking up 42-yard field goal and tried the onside kick, and we ended up falling 31-23.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Wayne Cartwright.
Coach Woodie, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Coach, I know obviously the elephant in the room is about the extracurricular activities, and obviously, have you heard? Well, here's a question about that. Have you heard from the SWAC yet about any potential suspensions?
No finalization as of yet. I'm sure I hear something here shortly.
Okay, and then secondly, just talking about just the actions itself. What did you say to your team and your staff about what took place?
Well, basically, the standard is a standard. We don't tolerate that. Obviously, we had individuals that was trying to de-escalate. I mean, the film don't lie. So, at the end of the day, those guys know here that we don't tolerate that.
Okay, and I'll just ask you now quickly. Lastly, heading into Jackson this Saturday with the game coming up, talk about the opportunity that you guys have to try to get a big win against a very quality opponent.
Well, I tell you what, TC, obviously, really good coach. He's going to have those guys ready. It comes down to what we talk about all the time. We got to be technique and fundamentally sound, and we got to have good intentions on those things, and then intent. We got to be attention to detail because they got a lot of good football players, and we do those things. We'll have a shot, but they got a really good team, and obviously, we got our work cut out. We don't come to play.
All right, I appreciate you as always, Coach Woodie. Good luck Saturday.
Thank you.
Question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone in Daytona are well. In terms of the game versus Grambling, no one wants to see a game that's marred like that. But just can you talk a little bit about that opportunity? And then also moving forward, you guys have won 3 out of the last 4, and what you like to see this week.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, I mean, like I said before, we want to always do things the right way. Whatever the case may be, those guys know that our intent is to go and play a clean game, and the game is played on the field, and at the end of the day, that's what I tell our guys. And unfortunately, we didn't come out there with a win, but, what we do, we want to do things in a classy, type way, and, moving on to this week, I mean, we have to make sure that we put things in perspective on what we have to do to go out and be successful against, Jackson State, because they're a really good football team. Coach got those guys playing at a high level.
All right, Coach. Good luck on the road this week.
Thank you.
Question goes to Dr. Cavill.
Kenyatta Cavill, Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Ransom was really playing some good football. Seemed like he got injured in the game. Do you have any updates on him?
No, I mean, right now we're going to take it day by day. Obviously, I know more tomorrow.
Follow-up I have is in terms of your next matchup with Jackson. Obviously, with everything that's going on, what are some techniques that you've been able to use with the team to get them focused, still with the opportunity they have in the matchup against Jackson going on the road, still with the balance of conference at play moving forward?
Well, this is the most important game because it's the next game on our schedule. And, like I said, Sunday, those guys came in and was wide eyes, excited, for the task at hand, just seeing some of the things that, we got to work on a technique standpoint, whether it's up front on offense and defensive line, to quarterback play, running backs on defense, second level linebackers to secondary, so it's a lot of room for improvement, and a lot of it is fixable, and we just got to come to work and go to work.
Thank you, Coach. Look forward to the matchup this week.
Thank you.
This question goes to Terrence Harris.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Doing well.
That's good. Hey, I just wanted to ask you, when you look back on what happened Saturday, what are the things that could have been done to prevent that? And also wanted to find out what were your thoughts on Coach Joseph's, his post-game comments?
What are my thoughts on what?
On Coach Joseph's post-game comments after that, and why the event happened and why they reacted the way that they reacted.
Oh, well, I don't, like I said, at the end of the day, I worry about what we're doing. I do know film. That's why we watch film, right? We had guys, all aspects with our players, trying to make sure that they were coming on the field and leaving off the field. So, at the end of the day, that's what it is. I don't go back and forth.
But do you feel like there was anything that maybe you as a coaching staff, you guys could have did different that might have prevented that?
Well, I don't. At the end of the day, one of our coaches got swung at, so I don't know how you can prevent that part of it. But I do know that he was being a pro, trying to make sure things was copacetic.
For sure. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
This question goes to Marvin Nichols.
Good morning, Coach Woodie.
Good morning. Doing great.
Good. This is Marvin Nichols from MTMV Sports. Coach, I want to ask, the game started with a sack fumble on the first offensive play, and then another fumble on 4th and 1. What conversations are you having with your offense about ball security in critical moments moving forward into the Jackson State game?
Well, we do that all the time. That's one of the keys. Take care of the football and obviously be able to run the ball, so those things are preached, every day, and it's going to continuously being preached, because that's a big aspect that you must be in the positive to have an opportunity to win the game. So, we go back to the drawing board and put guys in those situations and making sure that they execute in a different way, because, at the end of the day, you can't have 3 fumbles. It's tough to win doing that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Last question goes to Brandon King.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Doing good. I'm doing good. Brandon King with Dr. Cavill's Inside HBCU Sports Lab. Wanted to ask you, obviously, Cam got hurt and Mr. McClain came in. Can you talk about his play and some of the things that he was able to get done for your offense on Saturday?
Well, we're excited, that he came in, and he's a guy that always stays ready. We call him Steady Eddie. He don't say a whole lot, but the things that he does, people follow. So we're excited that he came in and being able to move the ball, to get us some points on the board, and like I said, he's the guy that we knew that any situation happened, he'll be the next man up to be able to execute.
All right, thanks for that insight, Coach, and good luck this week.
Thank you.
Coach, as always, appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, now we're going to go over to Florida A&M and Coach Colzie. Once again, if you do have questions, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Colzie with Florida A&M. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How you doing, boss?
Doing great, Coach. And as always, we appreciate you taking time to join us, Coach. If you could start us out with your opening statement, recapping your team's most recent outing versus Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Well, team win. Obviously, you're going on the road and the unfriendly confines of another program. And, Coach, credits to Coach Hampton and his football team. Played all 4 quarters. But that's a great situational football for us at the end of the fourth. And then being able to, work our hands team and, putting the game away. So, the other guys played well. Did have a chance in the middle of the game to make the margin of victory a little bit bigger, but defensively we didn't, weren't able to stop them late in the game. But credit to our offense, they were able to get some needed touchdowns to put us over the top. But obviously, looking forward to playing Alabama A&M this weekend.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Wayne Cartwright.
Sorry. Coach Colzie, hello to you. How are you, man?
Hey, Wayne, what's going on, boss?
Oh, doing pretty good. So you guys are that was a really exciting fourth quarter you guys had there at UAPB with everything going back and forth. But my question for you this morning is talk a little bit about just the transformation that this running game has taken and what's gone into that, because you guys have been running the ball pretty well of late.
Well, first and foremost, 2 damn exciting fourth quarter, as you mentioned. But I guess, going into the season, that was something that we were trying to make sure we can, start off doing well. And obviously we had, having a young quarterback early in the season, we were hoping to maybe be a little bit further ahead in the run game. But credit to our offensive staff, Coach Burris, Coach Williams, Coach Maurice, those guys doing a great job just continuing to hone in on the details and execution of the run game. Obviously getting a chance to get Thad Franklin over 100 yards. And then obviously you guys have seen Jamal Haley kind of just explode in front of a lot of people's eyes over the last few weeks. But a major part of our offense is being able to run the football, but also a major part of our offense is getting the ball to our playmakers. And, Thad Franklin and Jamal Haley fit both of those roles.
All right, Coach. Appreciate you as always. Good luck this week.
Appreciate you.
Question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everybody in Tallahassee are well. When you look at R.J. Johnson, the third, 17 of 25, 235, 2-1 at Pine Bluff, talk a little bit about his development and staying with that gentleman and the work he's been able to accomplish.
Well, each quarter he's getting better, right? Each half he's getting better. Each game he's getting better, and eventually he's going to end up throwing a pick. And I know he wished he would have that one back, but he's hitting the receivers, getting the ball to our guys that can make things happen. And but he's steadily improving. I do know, obviously he wasn't perfect, and he'll be the first one to tell you that. But he's a much better quarterback, than he was in the beginning of the year, and that allows our offense to open up the playbook a little bit more. That allows Burris to have a little bit more confidence in some of the things that we're asking RJ to do. But excited for what he's doing. Obviously, he's kind of been a difference maker and given us the opportunity to win some of the games that we've won down the stretch. And but he's just, again, he's going through his first year as a starter. And, a lot of the successful quarterbacks in this conference that that you're seeing, their first years were probably similar, where they were trying to learn the offense and trying to get to the ball to their playmaker. So again, excited for what he's getting ready to do, but also being excited about what's to come with this young man.
Coach, good luck this weekend as you go on the road to Alabama A&M.
Appreciate you, Jay.
This question goes to Dr. Cavill.
This is Kenyatta Cavill, Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Good morning, Coach Colzie.
Hey, Doc, how you doing, boss?
Good. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Ask matchup moving forward. Certainly, you're welcome. With the matchup moving forward as you go up to Huntsville, Alabama A&M has had some challenges at the quarterback position, it seems, due to injury in terms of where they are on the depth chart. I ask this from the perspective of your defense going up against that. When you start looking at how you want to be played defensively, do you continue with the things that you're doing that you believe are successful for your defense moving into a game like that, or are you more apt to look differently because of maybe who you
I think
working up against in terms of quarterback position?
I said, well, philosophically, I think still remains, right? Even though they are, maybe, not having their starting quarterback, a guy who's been really, really successful for them. And I think, but it still starts with us making sure we stop the run. They have very good running back, very good, they do have a great core of wide receivers and things like that. But I mean, it's still, if you got a new quarterback in there, or maybe a quarterback that's not having the success that you want, then that means they're going to start running the football a heck of a lot more. So I think that's for us. We still need to hone in and making sure we keep them under 100 yards. Excited for what our defense did in the run game this past weekend, but I think that's what starts with. Now, as far as our looks and personnel, I mean, we're still early in the process to decide what we want to do with that. But going in knowing possibly a younger quarterback and still having a great offensive line and a great run game, we still think that regardless of the situation, you want to make sure you want to stop their run game first, and see what you can do after that.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this week. Look forward to the matchup.
Appreciate you.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Hey, appreciate you guys, and good luck to everyone this weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, we are a few minutes ahead of schedule for Coach Hampton's availability. We'll pause momentarily. We'll return at 10:55. Thank you for your patience. All right, once again, if you do have questions for our coaches, please utilize raise your hand feature, get your question in the queue. With that being said, we are actually going to pause here momentarily. We've got another 2 minutes. Appreciate your patience. And the next coach that will be joined with misspoke will be Coach Joseph with Grambling State. Apologies for the misspeaking there. Thank you for your patience. Once again, if you do have questions for our coaches, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. Please limit your questions to one initial question. If we've got additional time and our coaches' availability, we will work our way back around to get additional questions answered. With that being said, we are happy to be joined by Coach Joseph with Grambling State. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach, as always, we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to join us. If you could, start us out with an opening statement recapping your team's most recent outing versus Bethune-Cookman.
Okay. First of all, I want to just make this clear because I won't be answering any more questions about this situation. The disrespect comment I made was never meant to condone violence or unsportsmanlike behavior. Still the moment we don't reflect who we are at Grambling, and we take full accountability of maintaining the integrity of the game and remain committed to learning from this incident and moving forward in the right spirit. And remembering cool heads prevail and calm is a superpower. So start with Hayden Benoit. He played a hell of a football game. These kids pulled behind. We playing with QB4. He executed. He was a lot better from one week to the next. The defense played. Once they settled down, they played pretty well. And I thought we was able to run the ball. And that was a big issue for us the week before that. We couldn't run the ball, but we was able to run the ball, and we played solid on special teams. And we came out with the win, our first winning season around here since 2019. So I think we headed in the right direction.
Appreciate those comments, Coach. First question goes to Dr. Cavill.
Kenyatta Cavill, Dr. Cavill, inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Thank you for your opening statement, Coach.
Thank you.
With that, I want to talk about winning 4 straight games, particularly what you were able to do effectively on defense. Defense has had a lot of sacks, hurried quarterbacks, and held, at least over the last couple of weeks, offenses that have been pretty potent down. Can you talk about collectively what the defense has been able to do really effectively and a couple of key players that seem to be making it go?
Well, I think, with Coach Rollins and a bunch, they just kind of like, okay, this is what we need to do. This is what we do well, and let's do it. Let's not do a whole bunch. Let's do what we do well. So I think the front four is playing lights out. I think they have over 20-something tackle for losses in the last 2 games, and over double-digit sacks in the last 2 games.
Right.
So we're playing good coverage in the back end, but we're having some gap integrity. I think they had 23 carries for 26 yards. So they've been playing lights out in the run game. When you can make an offense one-dimensional, I think that really helps you. And so you take your hat off to those players and to those coaches for just buckling it down and putting pride aside and say, okay, this is what we can do. And hopefully they continue to play that way with a hot Alcorn team that we're going up against this week.
Exactly. Look forward to the matchup. They've won 3, you won 4. Both teams are playing really good football. So look to see what outcome has for you in this game. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Question goes to Wayne Cartwright.
Hey, Coach Joseph, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing okay, Wayne. How you doing?
Blessed and highly favored. So, Coach, Hayden Benoit, you talked about it in the beginning. I thought he was spectacular, throwing for 4 touchdowns to 4 different receivers at that. Talk a little bit about where you said last week, you said that he knew 40% of the playbook and you were hoping to get him up to 60%.
Yes.
Well, where is he at in that process? And also, do you get any of your other quarterbacks back this week to help you out and maybe backing them up?
No, we don't get any quarterbacks back this week. Hayden's our guy. We also have Isaiah. We still play Eaton at emergency quarterback also. But he went up to about 65, 70%. Hayden's a very bright kid. We had to go back to his high school tape to kind of look at it and say, okay, this is what he likes to do. This is what he wants to do. But I take my hat off to Sharon Carey, who's playing with his 4th quarterback. And it's not easy, but this young coach hasn't blanked. He don't blank. He just keep going. He keeps coaching them hard. He has them in that meeting room. They're meeting. So he's doing a great job with them. But I spoke with Hayden Saturday morning, and I say, listen, this is not too big for you. These guys gonna rally around you. If you can hand it off and hit the high percentage throws and hit the deep ball, you're gonna be fine. But at the end of the day, you got to lead this group. And he listened. He said, okay, coach, let's get it. He's a tough kid out of Lowellville, Louisiana. And he just didn't blink, and that's what we always say around here. When we got locked down at the 105, we made a pact with everybody in the room that sooner or later your number's gonna be called, and you got to be prepared to do your job. And so far, when a kid's numbers call, they come in and they do their job. So we appreciate those kids for buying into what we're doing here at Grambling.
Appreciate you as always, Coach. Good luck at Alcorn.
Thank you.
Next question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone at the Grambling State University are well. Can you talk a little bit about what you see when you look at the Braves of Alcorn State, what they've been able to do, and some of the problems that they can present to opposing football teams as you head in there?
Well, Coach Thomas is doing a great job now. He's healthy. He's getting healthy, and he I talked to Seb. He said talk quite a bit. We probably won't talk this week, but we talk quite a bit. But he's getting healthy right now, and by me having a past being at Alcorn in 2013, when Jay Hobson was the head coach and Seb was on that staff, I know what type of kids they're gonna come out that locker room with. They're gonna come out with some tough kids and kids that's gonna do the right thing, but they're gonna play hard and they're gonna get after us. But what you see is that they're getting healthy. They second in run defense. They stopping the run, and you're not really giving up any too big passes, anything like that. So they're playing solid defense, and they can run the ball on offense. They have one of the best backs in the conference. So we got our work cut out for us. We got to get back to the drawing board. We came in yesterday to start looking at them, and we're gonna look at them some more today. And we got to get a game plan together to try to see. We're gonna have to. We got to establish the run. We got to test them. We got to establish the run and see if we can get that working, so we can get Hayden comfortable and with the higher percentage throws. But the run game has to be there this week.
All right, Coach. Thank you, and good luck trying to go to your fifth in a row winning streak.
Thank you.
Question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Perry. How you doing?
Super fantastic, Coach. I love to hear calm is a superpower. That is so awesome.
I got to learn that. I gotta learn that. Hey, listen, I think everybody continue to pray for me because I have to learn that. I have to learn that. I love my kids.
Sir.
I love my boys. I love my staff. I love Grambling, and I got to understand that.
Yes, sir. It's a process, Coach. It's a process, just like building a program. It's a process.
Hey, God's still working on me. So.
Absolutely, all of us. So, talk about this from you having been on the other sideline of this game. Talk about this game from a historic standpoint. Grambling versus Alcorn. Talk about it from that aspect.
I heard the stories, with McNair and Kendrick Nord, the battle that they had, and how McNair must have got banged up, and he came running down the hill. So I told the kids it's a great atmosphere. One thing I remember about Alcorn, that those people show up and it's a great atmosphere and they have a good time and they get behind those Braves. And it's gonna be a rocking house. Grambling's coming to town. They're gonna be fired up. They're on a win streak. We're on a win streak. So I expect nothing but a great football game. I have all the respect in the world, for Sad. We work together. We frat brothers, and we respect each other. We respect each other work. Like I said, we talk quite a bit, but we probably won't talk this week. I'll see him Saturday morning before the game. But it's gonna be an electric atmosphere for college football, and it's going to be a great game for the SWAC. And you got two teams that's playing pretty good right now. And the toughest thing is to go on that reservation and play. If you haven't been there, like I tell them all the time, they once you get in there, they're in there. They usually lock the gates and don't let you out of there. But we're looking forward to it. We got to get back and we got to continue to keep improving in all three phases of the game. But just going in there, we're excited for the opportunity. We're excited where we're at right now. We think we're turning the corner, heading to the right direction. So we're going to keep pushing it. We're going to keep pushing forward, trying to do things the right way to make sure we stay on this winning track.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Question goes to Kendrick Marshall.
Yeah, Coach. Obviously, there's going to be some reprimands based on the altercation from over the weekend. Is the school going to handle that internally in terms of disciplining players, or are you guys going to wait until the SWAC acts before you do something?
Well, Dr. Scott will handle all of that, and he'll let me know exactly what's going on. So once he lets me know, I'm sure he'll let you guys know.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Thank you, and good luck to you guys this week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All
right. We now go over to Arkansas Pine Bluff and Coach Alonzo Hampton. Once again, if you do have questions, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. Good morning, Coach. Good morning, Coach. Coach, can you hear us? Dr. Cavill, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Coach Hampton, can you hear us?
Coach Hampton, can you hear us? Yeah, it's on Coach's side.
We'll try to get Coach's audio resolved. Thanks for your patience.
No, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Y'all can't hear me?
We can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Coach, you there?
Yeah. Let me try to log out and log back in.
Coach, can you hear us?
I just hold on. I'm here now.
Okay. Can you hear us?
I do. Y'all
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Got you loud and
Yeah,
clear.
hey man, the devil busy today. Get from around here.
I appreciate you, Coach. Coach, you can just start us out with an opening statement.
Yeah, had a tough one this week, man. Against FAMU senior night, senior day. We had every opportunity to win the football game. Couldn't get off the field on fourth down. They had 3 fourth down conversions. That really, in my opinion, was a turning point. I mean, first drive, we get a 3 and out, make them punt. We throw a touchdown pass. He drops the ball. Next drive, we stop him. Then we throw a touchdown. We're up 7-0. Then they kick a field goal, 7-3, and then we got them backed up, 2nd and goal from like the 15. Had dirty eyes on the sluggo, one of my little sophomore corners, and they made it 10-7, 10-7 at half. They came out after half. Man, they just kind of ran the ball. Obviously, they had 66 yards at half rushing, and then they had 102 yards in the fourth quarter. They go up 17-7. We score, make it 17-14. Got them backed up, 3rd down stop, man. Just young and just not being able to make the plays in the critical moments. They were able to get a couple first downs. And obviously, it was tooth and nail, and they actually got the win. So hats off to them. We just got to continue to get better and not make critical mistakes in critical moments.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Dr. Cavill.
This is Kenyatta Cavill. Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Good morning, Coach Hampton.
Good morning.
Right, it seems like he's always busy.
Yep.
But you working it out, as we call it.
That's right.
With that being said, I know as we spoke the previous week, one of the things that you fundamentally want to do is get the running game going.
Yep.
Couldn't quite do that, but obviously you were able to get the passing game going with Christian Peters putting up those 333 yards and 3 touchdowns, going 26 of 36. He was able to spread the ball pretty much around. with the receivers, including Robinson. Talk about, even though one side of the ball may not be effective as you get into the game, you do what's necessary to put yourself in a position to win. And that was passing the ball. Talk about the maturation of what you're doing on that side of the ball and how you want to carry that into this week against Prairie View.
I'm gonna say it again. If you can't run the football, you're not gonna have a chance to win in any league. And obviously, we didn't get to 100 yards. Man, we had a few runs that we just missed, and we gotta understand who we are. We gotta be able to run the football, and we got good enough linemen to run the football. They made some plays, but a lot of times we missed a couple cuts, and I think that helps us all. But obviously, Christian Peters, he was hot on Saturday. Man, he was dialing them up. We had a couple more that, obviously we didn't get to call, but had guys that were running wide open. So, again, we got to continue to just get better, be able to run the football. We got a tough opponent, probably best team. I know on the Western Division. I mean, they're a good football team, so we got our work cut out for us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time. Look forward to the matchup and hope I get a chance to catch up with you during the game this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Next question goes to Tanner Spearman.
Good morning, Coach. Sticking with the offense for a second, you were talking about some of the things you need to do better. But overall, the past 2 weeks have been maybe two of the better performances by the offense. Season high in passing yards last week, season high in points against a SWAC opponent the week before against Southern. Do you feel like this offense is starting to get into a rhythm and play its best football of the year right now? And how do you feel like they'll match up against that #1 ranked defense that Prairie View has?
We just got to play complementary football. When the defense is hot, the offense is not. When the offense is hot, the defense is not. And so I don't really get in all those stats, scoring 40 points. I want to win the football game. And that's by any means necessary. But I think when you run the football, it gives you a toughness about your football team. We got to make a conscious effort to be able to run the ball, man. Coach Jackson has done a great job over there with those guys, man. They're the top defense in the league. I mean, they play well. They got a player, that #4, man. That kid, he can play football. And that D line that they got, they do some good stuff on all three phases. So we need to be able to play complementary football, all right, and take our opportunities when we get them in the passing game. But we got to be able to run the football. And then on defense, we got to be able to stop the run. Man, Coach got like 3 running backs. And then he got a receiver, number 11, kind of reminds me of Giovanni Gibson, that left and went to Oklahoma. Coach has done a good job, man. And we both got some ULM ties. And so I'm happy for him, but I'll cheer for him every game with the exception of this game right here.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Coach.
This question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone in Pine Bluff are well. The defensive side of the ball, when you look at Sterling and Green and Moore and Cole and Hilliard, talk about those gentlemen as they continue to wrap up, try to get stops, and what you like to see from your defensive side of the football as you have a game this week.
Yeah, number one, you got to be able to trust yourself, all right, trust the coaching, and then just knowing where your help is on defense. Too many times, I mean, we played really good football for 3 quarters. Even on Saturday, the score was 17-7. And we just, on the third down plays, they were 7 of 13, 54%. But they got us on 4th down, 3 of 3. And it's just like, you got guys there, just don't make the play. And those are the things that we got to be able to cut down on. When you're trying to get them to grow up and things of that nature. And those are critical errors that cost you ball games. I go back to the Grambling game. You're in the red zone 3 times and you only get 3 field goals. Then, this game here, man, we had a chance early in the game, I thought, to be able to get a 2-score lead. We just didn't take advantage of the opportunities. And then you make it a ball game, and now you make it 17-14. You couldn't get off the field on 3rd down, like 3rd and 9. I mean, you got one guy, he's right there, and just he step in front of the ball, pick it off. But it's neither here or there. Our kids, we got to continue to earn the right to win. We're close, but close doesn't get you anything in this world.
And so we got to continue to fight and continue to trust each other. And if we do that, we'll have opportunity to win.
Good luck at Prairie View, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Question goes to Wayne Cartwright.
Hey, Coach Hampton. So my
doing?
question for you today is, obviously with Prairie View being able to clinch the West with a win, can you talk about just what this means to you guys with the chance to play spoiler?
As a competitor, and I think you heard a coach say earlier, man, we're all competitors. I'm not trying to be a spoiler. I'm trying to win a game. And they're going to have a nice crowd. They've invested a lot into their program. Coach is a winning coach. He's brought a dog mentality there. I know my father-in-law and my brother-in-law like to hear that because, you know, that's his fraternity brothers. But, man, they play hard, and that's what you see. And our guys, we got to match their intensity. We got to get on that bus on Friday morning and take off about 9 hours. But when we get off that bus, man, we need to get those legs loose, get us some rest, and it's going to be a physical ball game. And our kids going to have to be able to match that intensity. You watch them when they played Alabama A&M. You know, they were down, but those kids, they fought back, and the game wasn't even close in the second half. And you watch them when they played Alabama State, they were up. And, man, he's got a really, really good football team. And, you know, he's a defensive-minded coach, and they play hard. And so our guys are going to have to match it. And we're looking at it like, for us, this is our conference championship game. You know, the Western Division title's on the line. And so, hey, they're the top dog. Let's see if let's measure ourselves and see where we at as a program against a really, really good football team and a team that was in the SWAC championship game just 2 years ago. So it'll be a great test for us, and we're looking forward to it.
Appreciate you as always, Coach. Good luck down there at Prairie View.
Appreciate it.
Coach, as always, appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking again next week.
All right, y'all be blessed.
Thank you. All right, next we're going to go over to Mississippi Valley State and Coach Buckley. Once again, if you do have questions, please utilize your raise your hand feature to get your question in. See, we have Coach Buckley joining us now. All right, I do believe that we have Coach with us. Coach Buckley, can you hear us? Coach, can you hear us? All right, there goes Coach. Good morning, Coach.
Trying to get on this thing.
There you go. Appreciate you, Coach, as always.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Coach, won't take up much of your time. If you could start us out with an opening statement.
Oh, man, what a game. If going back looking over the tape with 8 minutes left in the second quarter, we're down 7-0 after losing our quarterback, 80% of our offense on the first play of the game. Felt really good about what we was doing schematically, how we was attacking. We just couldn't make any meaningful plays. And the scores really is not indication on how we played, how we prepared. We didn't get a lot of calls either to help. So it was it's mixed feelings on my part of the outcome and kind of what we could have did Saturday. But bottom line is we didn't get the W, but I still like the direction we're going.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Morning.
Coach, I want to go and talk about a specific player, Jamari Stokes. He seems to be emerging as a defensive back similar to the caliber of defensive back that you were as a collegiate player. Can you talk about his development over this season?
Well, I wouldn't go that far now. He's done he's a true freshman that showing a lot of promise, right? Now it's connecting that promise with well, it's not always where you've been, what we thought at the beginning of the year. It's a couple months later. He's improving. He needs to improve in a couple more areas. But I think he's done a very good job for us thus far. But we still want more.
Fair enough, Coach. You want more. I get it. Thank you, Coach.
You're
Good
welcome.
luck.
Thank you.
Question goes to Charles Bishop.
How you doing, Coach Buckley?
Good.
I think you touched on it in your opening statement in terms of Josh Brown going down literally in the first series, but just the fact he went down, talk a little bit about how much it really impacted your game planning for that day.
Man, first play, you talking about 80%. Then we dropped the ball that he threw too. So he hit his finger on a helmet and dislocated that index finger. Took a little bit out of us. When somebody is dynamic as Josh is, again, I just go back to what the score was with 8 minutes left in the second quarter. And we are out there fighting without really our best player. That goes to show you what we're capable of doing, like I was telling the players. Now, you say the next person is up, but that was tough for us. But we kept fighting, and obviously I still don't the score doesn't indicate how well we at least played the first half.
Sure thing. A quick follow-up. One of the positives, I think, from the game is your punter, Marco Dubic. He averaged 50 yards a punt, had 4 punts of at least 50 yards, had a long of 68. But just talk about what he's brought to your team this season, especially looking at that game.
Some stability. We needed every yard, too. One of the hardest working young men I ever been around. What he has brought here is what we say the environment, what you want is a great student, a great person, one of the hardest working people you'll be around, is not afraid to make adjustments. So it's been a great experience with Marco.
Always appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Dr. Ville.
Kenyatta Cavill, Dr. Ville's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Good morning, Coach Buckley.
Morning.
Got a chance to watch that SWAC TV matchup, and as you said, early on, particularly you were able to stay in the game, particularly with Josh Brown going up. Do you have an update? I know you alluded to the injury. How does it look moving forward for the young man?
Dislocated index finger, and you never know how those things heal. Could be week, could be 3 weeks, could be a month. Nobody really knows because they had to wrap it up. And so the doctor will let us know moving forward how long that's going to take.
Quick follow-up on the defensive, as they were able to hold steady for much of that first half until late, and things kind of got away with some scores. Talk about their maturation and what are they doing for you holistically as a defense?
Well, we're trying to the FBI is increasing. I would want more so we can do more.
Okay.
Man, we jumped around. We played jump 4 down, 3 down. Tried to cut this, tried to cut that. We tried to get 5-man, 6-man rush when they allowed us. Testament to them, they made some adjustment. The player coaches communication system, I think, really helped them. We don't have that yet. So you can tell they was talking to the quarterback, moving whenever we moved our star around, they would find that hole. I mean, it was on the backside. Whenever we tried to disguise some stuff and get a little deep, and they would hit the hitches. But it's one of those things. It's a learning experience. But what I really, really like about what we're doing is what we tried to do was attack. We was not afraid. We was trying to make plays. Just wasn't our day.
Appreciate the insight, Coach. Look forward as you continue to move forward. Wish good health to your team, particularly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Got time for 2 more questions. First one goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone in the Delta are well. Port City Classic, Mississippi Valley State versus Alabama State. Talk about this big game coming up and what you would like to see and some of the things Alabama State does well.
Well, I would like to see us make a few more plays. And obviously, after playing J-State, obviously one of the top teams in our conference and in the FCS, that we know we can compete. The difference is they have guys on their team that can make plays. Alabama State the same way. We have to make plays when we get in position. That's the biggest thing. Fundamentally sound, increasing our FBI and making our plays when we get the opportunity.
All right, Coach. Have a blessed week and safe travels to Mobile.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Wayne Cartwright.
Coach Buckley, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So, Coach, just real quick here, with 2 games remaining in the season, can you just sum things up for me? Just what are the biggest things and some of your biggest takeaways you've had from, 3 games. I'm sorry, 3 games.
That's all right.
3 games.
That's all right.
What are some of the biggest takeaways that you have for just your experience in coaching this team?
Man, the experience that it was a lot worse than I thought, but the resiliency of the team, the players is second to none. Hard work, discipline, dedication, growth mindset you have to have, and there has to be a working relationship between the administration and the staff. If you want to turn things around, you have to get in unity and be in, like I said, one voice going in the same direction. But really, really excited about the future.
Hey, I appreciate that and appreciate you as always, Coach. Good luck against Alabama State.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, next we go over to Prairie View A&M University. Once again, if you do have questions, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. That being said, happy to be joined by Coach Jackson with Prairie View A&M. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach, as always, appreciate your time. If you could, start us out with an opening statement recapping your team's most recent outing at Alabama A&M.
Yeah, we went to Huntsville, Alabama, and really didn't like the trip. I thought the trip was really shaky. We had some issues at the hotel. The sweet tea wasn't sweet. It was we just had some issues getting situated there. And I thought it led to us starting the game pretty slow with just the way that we do things and how those things carry over. But ultimately, our kids were able to settle down, get situated, gave up a safety that was very disappointing for us. But my hat goes off to Alabama A&M. They started the game extremely fast on offense and defense and kind of had us on the move a little bit. I thought the second quarter, right before the half, our kids settled down and we were able to convert some things that we had been working for a long time. And then the second half, things just went our way. So by no means are we satisfied with the game that we played. I actually thought we didn't play very well. And for the travel, and it's just a weekend that you wanted to hurry up and be over because of all the things that happened. So here we are. We won a football game, and we certainly got back to work yesterday on trying to be a better version of ourselves.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Wayne Cartwright.
Hey, Coach Jackson, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Hey, can you just talk about the ability or the opportunity that's in front of you guys this week with the opportunity to clinch the West with a victory?
Yeah, Wayne, we don't spend a lot of time talking about clinching the West. Man, we're just trying to get better. We got a really good UAPB team. Guys got 11 interceptions. Coach Hampton's doing an extremely good job with those guys. And so we don't have time to look at what may be. We got a really good football team coming to town, and we got to get ready for it. And so hopefully we achieve our goals in the end, but if we don't play well, as we still have not played a complete football game yet. I'm still waiting on us to play a complete football game. We're still coaching it. We got a lot of little things we got to clean up. And so hopefully we can get those things together this weekend.
All right, Coach, appreciate that. Good luck this week against UAPB.
Thank you.
This question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone on campus are well. Mr. Cam Peters, 17 of 22 for 394 and 5. Talk about his development, what he's able to do, banding together with his teammates, his brothers, and winning.
Yeah, Cam's got to put together some consistency. To be hot one day and cold the next is not how we play quarterback around here. And so, you see the numbers and you see the things that he did this past weekend. We're looking for Cam to continue to do that. Great quarterbacks are consistent, period, and they win games and they make other people around them better. And so even though he had a good day, we won't know what Cam Peters is until the very end of his tenure. Whenever we get done playing, whenever that may be, that's when we'll get a chance to sit down and evaluate Cam Peters. But right now, we're just looking for him to be consistent in what we know he can do.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate what you're doing with that program.
Thank you.
This question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach, there's been a lot of talk this season about your defense, and deservedly so. They rank #1 in scoring and total defense in the conference. But I want to talk about your offensive line today. They've given up the fewest number of sacks in the conference. Can you just talk about them and mention some of those guys?
Yeah, those guys call themselves the engine. So I won't mention any individuals because they like to be referred to as the engine. And so we know that you can't win football games without great offensive line play. You can't win football championships without being able to run the football. As you see, some of the top teams in the country have great running games. And so we're striving to be one of those. We haven't always achieved that goal every game this season. We're a continual work in progress. But I do like their attitudes. I like the way they come to work every day. And again, that's one of those things that we'll be able to evaluate at the end of the season to see if we were any good or not.
Fair enough, Coach. Thank you, sir. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
This question goes to Dr. Cavill.
This is Kenyatta Cavill. Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. It was good to be able to get down there and watch that game with my eyes and talk with you post-game about pushing things forward. I want to talk about an individual player. Obviously it's collective in your approach, but if you would endear me with this, is Josiah Rockwell, the junior 6'2", wide receiver, 214 pounds. As you know, McKinney, Texas, more than doubled his output in terms of being able to haul in 3 touchdowns in this game, including a big one throughout the game right there before half. But in terms of putting up 183 yards on just 8 catches, talk about his maturation. What did you see that he was able to do this weekend as he continues to seek to get better at this game?
Yeah, I think Jay has done what you said at the end. He continues to get better. I kind of go back to the 18-yard catch that he dropped early on in the game, which would have probably put him over 200 yards. And so we look to continue to get him to max out and be the very best you are. At some point, Doc, you know this, you got to stop getting better. You got to just be the very best version of yourself. And so we're a work in progress. We look forward to getting better. But at some point, the tide is going to turn in our program where everybody has to be at their best. And we look for the same thing from Jay. He didn't play very much at Sam Houston. He came here. He's bought into who we are. He's done a very good job of being productive for us. Had some inconsistent woes early on, and now he looks to be playing a pretty good brand of ball. But at some point, I want to know what his best is. And again, we won't find that out until the end of the season. But better around here is what we're taking right now. At some point, everybody's going to have to be their best.
Thank you, Coach Jackson. Look forward to the matchup. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Tanner Spearman.
Good morning, Coach. With your defense, obviously they've been good for you all season, but I just want to know, what did you learn about them this past week, just in terms of their ability to bounce back from the ASU loss where they gave up 31 to then come out a week later and hold a team to a field goal? What did you learn about your defense in that bounce back?
Yeah, I learned we're still not where we need to be. We still got to, again, like I just told Doc, we're still getting better, but I'm eager to see what we are at our best, and we still haven't played a complete football game. We take a lot of pride in defenses that don't give up touchdowns, right? You look back at our career, we've had several of those just at where we've been. We've been really blessed in the brand of defense that we've been able to play. But when you let people get on the scoreboard, you're not at your best. That's just what we believe around here. So we don't spend a lot of time on what we did. We spend a lot of time on what we can be and how not to make those mistakes that led to what made us not who we are come true. You know what I mean? And so we sit around and work really hard. The defensive staff works really hard to keep people off the board completely. And when we don't do that, then we got problems. And so we have an attitude that if we give up a yard, man, we got problems. We got to get that fixed. And so until the day comes where we don't give up any yards and any points, we're never going to be satisfied anywhere. And so I look forward to seeing those guys be at their best here in the near future too.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Next question goes to Jason Bristol.
Morning, Tremaine. If I'm hearing you correctly, do you anticipate being a little harder on your kids this week so that they make sure they flush that 43-point win?
Yeah, I'm hard on them all the time, man. I don't, man, you come around here, you would thought we lost yesterday. It's just some things that we see with the naked eye, man, and the way that we run the program that the naked eye doesn't see. We know exactly what we're looking for as a program and as a staff. We're not going to settle until we get it. And so although we tell them when they do an extraordinary job, because we don't tell people good job that are doing things that they're supposed to do. If you're growing up and you're a good citizen, I'm not going to walk around and tell you good job for being a good citizen. That's what you're supposed to do. So when you do extraordinary things, we might give you a pat on the back or a nod of the head. But for us, man, we see those things with the detail eye that we know you should have been better at or you should have been at your best at by now. And so we really harp on those things a lot. We don't take a lot of we put a lot of stock in seeing where we are now. We won't know where we are or what we were until the end. I think people that sit around and look at where they can go instead of just getting to where they're going, they end up missing something along the way. So we're not just hard on them this past week. We're hard on them all the time. Our culture is confrontational. That's who we are, and that's different for a lot of people. But we don't shy away from what we say we're going to do or what we say we're going to be, and that's just the way we ball.
Thank you.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Thank you. Go Panthers.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, Coach McNair is having some issues getting logged in, so we're going to see if we can get him on. If not, we'll be back at 10:45 with Coach Dishman. Thank you for your patience. having some technical issues with Coach McNair's connection, so we will have Coach Dishman join us next. And if we're able to get Coach connected, we'll have him his availability after Coach Taylor's with Jackson State. Apologies for any inconvenience. Thank you for your patience. All right. Had issues with Coach Dishman's login as well. So it looks like we're going to go to Jackson State so that we don't hold up Coach Taylor's availability. Do you believe that we have Coach Taylor with us?
Example, we have relationships right now with 20 different SSPs. So those are supply side partners. But there's one answer. So we have SWAC, we have Till Vacuum Do Us Part, we have Canyon Star TV, we have the HIMS channel, all of these different entities that we have relationships with.
All right. Happy to be joined by Coach Taylor with Jackson State. Good morning, Coach.
Morning. How you doing?
You're great, Coach, as always. Thanks for taking time to join us. If you could start off an opening statement recapping your team's most recent outing versus Mississippi Valley State.
Yeah, good trip to the Delta for Jackson State football this past weekend. Really did a good job by our football team going up there and taking care of business. Played well in all three phases. Very pleased with our defense. We're able to get a couple of turnovers and defensive score. Offense played well, and our young quarterback has continued to improve. So very pleased with where we're going this week. Where we're at right now as a program. Looking forward to being back at the vet this weekend. We got Miss Bethune-Cookman, coming into town, 12 o'clock kickoff. So look forward to that football game and getting back in front of our home fans this weekend.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Wayne Cartwright.
Coach TC Taylor, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Wayne. How you doing?
Doing well. So noon kickoff against Bethune-Cookman, which has had a pretty good season to date. Can you just talk about how you or the process you guys as a staff are going about keeping your team focused just on this one game and not needing two to win the East?
Yeah, I mean, that's been a big focus for us, since we took that tough loss to Grambling. We said we would take it one game at a time, Wayne, one quarter at a time. And our guys have really been locked in and focused at the mission at hand with that. And that's what we're going to continue to do. We do know that we have, 8 more quarters of football to, potentially win the East if we play those right. And but we got to get ready for Bethune-Cookman. It's a very good football team. Offensively, they're very explosive. Got some guys that can run, but that's typical for when you're playing these Florida teams. And defensively, they're playing together and playing at a high level. So they want to come in here, and you look to win the football game as well. But we'll be focused on them, and we'll get ready for Alcorn after this weekend. But we'll be focused on Bethune-Cookman right now.
Hey, I appreciate you as always. Good luck there on Saturday against Bethune-Cookman, Coach.
Thank you.
This question goes to Dr. Cavill.
This is Kenyatta Cavill, Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Both questions, both for offense and defense, particularly Jared Lockhart, freshman as he played second consecutive game, played really well, 21 to 27, 247 and 2 touchdowns as you get the running game going. But also what your defense is able to do in terms of allowing the offense to come at their own pace and just shutting people down.
Yeah, just excited and just it pleases me to watch Jared Lockhart's growth right now at this stage of the season when he had to be thrusted in there as the starter and still with everything on the line. He's handling it well as a young man, as a quarterback for this football team. What I see, Doc, is he's getting better each and every day, each and every start he gets on every Saturday that he gets the opportunity to start for this football team. And you can see him getting better throughout the weeks. He's just loving football, and he knows it's a lot on him, but you see him growing as a quarterback. He's going to be a really good one in this league going forward, and we need him to get better. We've done a good job also too as play callers here, as offensive staff, going out there and finding the things that he can do in order to be successful. And he's going out there and playing at a high clip, and executing those things. Defensively, I feel like we've been solid all year. But once Jacobian went down, I told them that they're going to have to really step the level of play up.
You know, they're going to have to really step their level of play up. We got to produce more turnovers, getting those extra positions, throughout the football game, being really good on third down. You know, we got to get people off the field on third down. And, like this past weekend, I challenged them also to get a defensive score. They went out there and did that, got 2 turnovers. So they got to continue to get better and continue to play at an elite level. And the other thing, we're playing well on defense. We're playing a lot of guys now. You know, early on, we had guys playing at a high volume of snaps out there in football games, but we're playing a high volume of guys right now, and it's helping us in those 4 quarters of football games.
Thank you, Coach. Look forward to the matchup against Bethune-Cookman.
All right, thank you, Doc.
This question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone in Jackson are well. Can you talk about thriving through adversity as you go through a football season? One gentleman goes down, next man up, and Lockhart, and the list goes on. But just talk about the grind, that process as you get ready for Bethune.
Yeah, it's not so much as the grind and the process. It's what we call the standard around here. No matter, the circumstances going into a football game, the expectation for us is to go out there and dominate. And, when Jacobian went down, that's why when we had to get Lockhart ready to play, we didn't flinch or anything like that because the expectation was still to go out there and dominate and go win football games. And we've been blessed to be able to do that and say we've done a pretty good job of that up to this point. And that's been the motto all year. We just want to live up to the standard, play at a high level. We have expectations of playing postseason football here at Jackson State, and our young men understand that. Our coaches, our fans, everybody understand that. But, it's next man up. The standard is the standard, and we're going to continue to preach that every week. No different when we're going into this football game this weekend.
Thank you, Coach. Have another blessed week.
Thank you. You as well.
Question goes to Charles Bishop.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Chuck, how you doing? I'm good.
Doing well. Noticed a nuance within the offense. The tight ends caught passes, 5 passes total with Jesse Riley and Darren Bennett. But how much does this add another element to your offense?
I'm so pleased with those guys stepping up and playing it, the way they played this past weekend. Jesse Riley is one of those hidden gems, a hidden weapon that we've been trying to get him going, find ways to get the ball in his hands, but we have so many other options and weapons on the offensive side of the football, with the run game and the way these receivers playing. And I just told them to stay positive, and they trusted and believe me. I tell them, stay positive throughout this. The ball is going to come your way. But what people don't really see too is the way that they are involved in the run game. They do a heck of a job, blocking and doing a lot of the dirty work each and every play. Bennett does a great job, number 85. Sebastian, Jency got banged up this past weekend. We had a young tight end come in there. Sebastian, he played good football, but anytime those guys are playing at a high clip, you can add more weapons to the piece, Chuck.
I appreciate you always, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This question goes to Marvin Nichols.
Coach TC, Marvin Nichols from MTMV Sports. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Great win. I mean, you dominated Mississippi Valley, but I wanted to ask you a legacy question. Every coach leaves a mark on their players. What's the deeper legacy you hope your players carry with them long after their time at Jackson State is over?
Yeah, the thing that I always stress to my players here, as long as God give you the opportunity to roll out that bed and to put 2 feet on the ground, you should be able to go out there and take care of the rest. And I tell them to come to work each and every day, and just how blessed you are to be able to come in here and be a college football player, and those are the things that I tell them. As long as you get an opportunity to stand up and walk out that door each and every morning, have greatness on your mind, have a mindset of being great and going out here and take full advantage of those opportunities.
Great message. Good luck to you this weekend, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Coach, as always, appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, we've got Coach Dishman with us. Once again, if you do have questions for Coach, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Dishman with Texas Southern. Good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing?
Doing great, Coach. And as always, thank you for joining us. If you could start us out with an opening statement recapping your team's game versus Alabama State.
Well, our first half was a lot better than the way we played in the second half. We just got to be able to figure out how to play 60 minutes of football. 60 minutes of winning football. We have to figure that out and just go on. You know, our goal for this year we did not achieve, but we're setting our goals for next year. Our goals for next year is the same goals we have for this year.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone in Houston are well. When you look at the maturation of a program, player development, NIL, the transfer portal, and everything as you build this program and win games, just talk about what you see with all those different moving parts in this current era.
Well, that's an interesting question. You know, we have an NIL team that's supposed to be going out and getting guys different stuff. I'm more concentrated on the football aspect of bringing guys in here who want to be at Texas Southern, not guys who, oh, you're my last resort, so I'm going to come to your school. I don't want guys like that. I want guys who want to be here and be able to grow with us and be able to build something special.
Thank you, Coach. Have a good game this week.
All righty.
Question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Mr. Daniels.
I guess good afternoon at this point. But, Coach, talk about some of the successes of the program this year. It's not always measured in wins and losses. What are some of the other things you accomplished in your program this year that you could quantify as success?
Well, our community service hours has went up. Our graduations, we have more guys graduate this year than we did last year. So, and we have our seniors this year done a great job of controlling the team. You know, I didn't have to go to study halls and get on gas for not going to study hall. I didn't have to go to check classes. Our seniors made sure everybody was in where they're supposed to be at. So I think our culture has arrived of they understanding that you got to go to classes. You got to graduate here at Texas Southern. You come here to play football, you're going to graduate. As simple as that. You're not going to just come here to play football. You're going to be able to graduate also. So I think that's what we can rely on as far as being a successful season is our graduation year is going to come. Our graduation is going to come up. And also our community service hours of being able to be a part of the community here in Third Ward.
That's awesome, Coach. That's awesome. Great job. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Question goes to Dr. Cavill.
Kenyatta Cavill, Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Good afternoon, Coach Dishman.
Dr. Cavill, how you doing?
Pretty well. Wanted to talk a little bit about what you were able to do well in that game and then where you want to see some improvements. Offensively, KJ Cooper was a solid 25 of 35, 220, 2 touchdowns. You're able to run the ball pretty effectively with Renfro leading the way, 18 for 145 and getting in the end zone. And your defense actually held Alabama State in terms of third down efficiency 0 for 4. But special teams was not as special as you probably wanted to be. Talk about continue to push forward in terms of what they get done.
You would mention that special teams has been, now let me just guess, not all our special teams, it's just the kickoff team has been our Achilles heel. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to take over the kickoff team. I took over the kickoff team there at the USFL, and we was ranked in the top 5 in kickoff.
I remember.
And I'm going to take over the kickoff team, and we're going to go back and learn how to run, stay in your lanes, and tackle. You know, you don't need to be a rocket scientist, go run down on kickoff. You just need to be a willing participant and a willing soldier to be able to give your body up for the team.
Thank you, Coach Dishman. Look forward to the Southern matchup as you hit the road this week.
Thank you.
Take care.
Question goes to Wayne Cartwright.
Hey, Coach Dishman, how are you today, sir?
Wayne, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So, Coach, obviously, you know, with SWAC championship was a goal, and it's not attainable anymore. What are the goals now for your squad, and how you evaluate them moving forward in these last 2 games?
Well, we have 11 games. We played 11 games, and everyone out those 11 games will get evaluated from those 11 games. We don't wait to evaluate guys at the end of the season. We've been evaluating guys already. We've been trying to recruit guys that can come in here and help us win games. not just recruit guys to come in and be a part of our team. We want guys who can come in and help us win football games. So not only coaches not being evaluated, but players have been evaluated. This team will never be this team. This team is going to change. Every year, your team changes. So this team will change.
All right, Coach. Good luck down there in Southern.
Thank you.
Coach, as always, appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. This concludes our SWAC football head coaches media session for Monday, November the 10th. And as a reminder, all SWAC football head coaches media sessions are digitally archived on the SWAC